there, welcome to the Millennial Book Junkie. My name is Monique, and welcome to another episode of Thriller Watch, where we talk about all the books, events, and movies coming out in the horror and thriller genre in the upcoming month, which is May 2026. Now, I'm going to be talking about a lot of new releases, new movies, new events coming up. So if you'd prefer to receive horror and thriller releases in a more digestible format, be sure to subscribe to my Bookish newsletter in the description box below, because every Tuesday I send out a newsletter with all the horror and thriller releases, Bookish news, and also all the Bookish events going on in the horror and thriller genre. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. All right, before we get started, tell me what you are reading. Pop it in the comment box below. I would love to know. I'm going to show on the screen all the books that this community has told me they are reading within the last month or so. I want you to tell me what you're reading so I can put it up on the screen for everyone else in the next Thriller Watch video. When you add what you're reading, you help the whole reading community find new books, and that's awesome. So let me know so we can continuously add to our infinite TBRs. I personally am currently reading Caller Unknown by Gillian McAllister, and that is coming out May 5th. I absolutely love Gillian McAllister's books. They've all been really good, and I'm already loving this one, so I'll let you know how it goes in my wrap up. But let's talk about May's horror and thrillers coming out, and be sure to like and subscribe if you like this content, and let's dive in. So I usually segment the types of thrillers releasing for each Thriller Watch video, and today is no different. We're going to start with the crime thrillers coming out in May. So the first crime thriller I want to talk about coming out on May 4th is 26 Beauties by James Patterson. Basically, in this book, a bunch of young women are going missing in San Francisco, and Lindsay and the Women's Murder Club start to realize that the cases might all be connected. As more bodies turn up, they're racing to figure out what's really going on before even more girls disappear. Next up, we have A Little Bit Bad by Cassandra Nayanesh coming out May 5th. And this one is about a married woman who falls in love with her neighbor's roofer, and it completely blows up her life. He ends up dying, and there's a woman who keeps watching her in front of her house, and things start to get really dark, and she's left trying to figure out who she is and what really happened. Next up is Payback by Elizabeth Rose Quinn, coming out on Cinco de Mayo, May 5th. This is about a group of wealthy inmates, and for some reason, they are doing a cushy weekend jail stay somewhere in jail. I don't know what that means, but they find their abusive guard murdered, and now they have to figure out who did it before they all get locked up for real. So basically they're going on like a vacation jail stay. With the storm trapping them inside, tensions rise fast, and it's clear that one of them is hiding something deadly. Next up, we have Never Found by Remigiu Mraz. I hope I'm saying that correctly. This one is about a man who lost his fiancée 10 years ago, and he thinks he's seeing a ghost when her photo suddenly shows up online. Then he realizes it's a photo that only he should have. Now he's pulled into a mystery that makes him question everything that he thought he knew about his wife. On May 12th, we have You Can Tell Me by Melinda Lay. This one is about a true crime podcaster who goes missing, and her friend Olivia knows something is very seriously wrong, especially after finding her phone with a chilling message that says, "Run." As Olivia digs into her friend's secrets, she starts to wonder if her friend uncovered something deadly and if she is next. Next up, we have Echoes of the Lost by Cindy Brown. This one is coming out May 12th. This one is about a retired police detective who finds a scared little boy on his doorstep, and he gets pulled into a mystery about this boy's missing mom. As he digs deeper, the case starts hitting way too close to home, and it's clear that this kid's life is on the line. Next up is This Town Won't Tell by Rhodey Hawk. This is coming out May 12th. This is about a single mom who waits tables at a local roadhouse, and she gets mixed up with the wrong people after her ex and cousin land her on a crime boss's radar. Now she's in way over her head and will do whatever it takes to stay alive and protect her daughter. On May 12th, we have Days of Feasting and Rejoicing by David Bergen. This is about a woman whose friend dies, and after her friend dies, she slips into her life like it's nothing. She takes her name, she takes her money, even her boyfriend, and it almost feels too easy. But as questions start swirling around the death, it becomes clear that she might not be as innocent as she seems. Next up, we have Hurricane Room, James Bond is Alive by Kim Sherwood. This is coming out May 19th. This is book 3 of the Double O series, if you're familiar, and James Bond is back, but he's broken, and M16 is falling apart from the inside. With the traitor hunting agents and a massive cyber attack looming, Bond and the team have to figure out who to trust before it's too late. Next up, we have The Talk of the Party by Felusho Agbaje, coming out on May 21st. This one is about a glamorous birthday party for a wealthy Lagos matriarch that looks really perfect on the outside, but her kids are all hiding scandals that could blow everything up. Now, as the birthday night unfolds, it is clear that this celebration might tear the whole family apart. Next up is The Final Target by Nora Roberts. This is coming out May 26th. This is about an author who thinks a fan is just harmless until he turns into a complete nightmare and upends her entire life. Even after she tries to start over, it's clear that this guy is not done with her and he's more dangerous than ever. That sounds really good and very terrifying. Next up, we have Night Objects by Eli Raphael, coming out May 26th. A teen girl lands at an elite boarding school after a tragedy and gets pulled into a secret society that feels way more dangerous than it seems. When a murder shakes everything, she's forced to question who she's becoming and what she might be capable of. All right, let's talk about the books coming out in the horror genre, also one of my favorite genres. The first is She Waits Where Shadows Gather by Michelle Tang. This is coming out May 5th. This is about a couple who do not believe in anything supernatural, and of course they end up in a haunted family home where something is definitely not right. After a devastating accident leaves one of them trapped in their own body, it becomes clear the darkness in the house is real and it is not done with them. Next up is The Girl with 1,000 Faces by Sunyi Dean, and this is also coming out on May 5th. This is about a woman named Mercy who has no memory, and she washes up on the shores of Hong Kong, and she ends up surviving in a haunted slum talking to ghosts for a living until a powerful spirit shows up claiming that it knows who Mercy really is. As things turn deadly, she realizes that her past might be way darker than she thought. This one sounds really good. Next up, we have Accumulation by Amy Pokwadka. This is coming out May 5th. This is about a mom who moves into her dream home, but things start getting really creepy. The faucet runs at all hours, and later her and her children find themselves in some kind of loop where they're repeating everyday actions with dangerous side effects. As it all falls apart and spirals, she realizes the house might be trapping them in something dangerous, and she has to figure this out before it kills them all. I will definitely be reading this. Next up, we have But Won't I Miss Me by Tiffany Sao, coming out May 5th. In a world where pregnancy literally replaces women with a stronger version of themselves, one new mom cannot shake the fear of what's coming, and something goes horribly wrong when it happens to her. As she struggles to rebuild her life, she starts uncovering the truth about motherhood, and it is way more terrifying than anyone wants to admit. I can only imagine. Not Your Final Girl is the next book coming out in May, and it is by Michaela Randolph, coming out May 5th. This one's about a group of old friends who reunite at a cabin years after a murder tore them apart, hoping for closure, but the tension is still very real between them. When a masked killer shows up and people start dying, it becomes clear that someone is out for revenge and no one can be trusted. Next up, we have The Dorians by Nick Cutter, coming out on May 19th. This one sounds really interesting. It's about 5 older strangers who head to a remote island for a chance to turn back the clock and regain their youth. That always ends badly, but the experiment behind it is way more darker than it sounds, because of course it is. As things spiral, it becomes clear they've signed up for something dangerous that might not let them leave. That sounds so juicy. Next up is Something on Your Mind by George Morris Death on May 19th. A guy with a terminal illness drags his friends to LA searching for a cure, but his mind is starting to unravel in a really scary way. As things spiral, he's not just fighting to survive, he is trying to hold on to who he is before he loses control completely. I love the title of this next one, The Temptation of Charlotte North by Camilla Bruce, coming out May 19th. On a remote island, a rebellious young woman gets drawn to a powerful spirit released from an ancient tower and sees it as her chance to change her life. But with a priest and a skeptic trying to stop it, things quickly turn dangerous. Next up, we have Dead Weight by Hildur Newtstuder, and this author also wrote The Night Guest, if you're familiar with that one. That one's been on my TBR forever, and I heard it is really good. So it is really cool that she's putting out a new book. And this one is about a lonely woman who takes in a mysterious girl and her black cat. And the two of them quickly become very close. But when things turn violent, she realizes her new friend might be more trouble than she expected, and now she is in trouble too. Next up, we have a new one from Sarah Gailey called Make Me Better, coming out May 12th. A lonely woman gets invited to a mysterious island that promises healing, belonging, and a fresh start. But as she gets pulled deeper into the community, it's clear their version of transformation comes at a very dark cost. Next up, The Abyss by Nicholas Binge, coming out May 12th. This one is being called Severance Meets Lovecraft. A guy takes a boring office job at a mysterious company thinking, hey, this is going to be really easy, but this company apparently is way more interested in him than he expected. And so things start to get really weird, and it starts to feel like the job is slowly consuming him in a very unsettling way. Next up, Electric Shamans at the Festival of the Sun by Monica Ojeda. This is coming out on May 12th. This is about two best friends who escape to a wild, drug-fueled festival by a volcano, hoping to leave their past behind. But something darker is going on beneath the surface. As things spiral, it is clear that this trip might change them in ways they did not expect. What is this, like Coachella horror? I don't know. It sounds good. Next up, a Decomposition Book by Sarah Van Oss, coming out May 19th. After a messy fallout, a woman finds a dead body in the woods, and instead of calling the police, she gets really obsessed with the woman's story. Sounds like something I would do. As she dives deeper, it starts to feel like the dead girl isn't entirely gone, and she might not want to let her go. Next up, we have I'll Watch Your Baby by Nina Veal, coming out on May 26th. This is about a woman who is running a very shady adoption scheme, and she's basically gonna do anything to get what she wants, even if it crosses a dangerous line. Years later, a woman gets caught in a web tied to that past and realizes someone has been waiting a long time for revenge. Next up, we have House of Margins by Lolo Samase, coming out on May 26th. This one is about a rising writer who goes missing after attending a creepy writing residency at an eerie mansion, and her sister starts digging into what really happened. As the truth unfolds, it becomes clear that the house itself might be hiding something dark and dangerous. The fact that there's a creepy writing residency reminds me of that Julia Bart's novel, The Writing Retreat. Okay, let's talk about some espionage thrillers now. There's one coming out called I Spy by L.M. Kemp on May 5th. This one is about a former spy who's just trying to live a quiet life with her daughter when she gets pulled back in when her cover is blown. What starts as a very simple school parent investigation quickly turns into something way bigger and way more dangerous than she expected. Next up is Tom Clancy's Rules of Engagement, a Jack Ryan novel by Ward Larson, coming out May 19th. This one is about a plane crash, a government plane crash, and a body that goes missing. Now, after this happens, it is very clear that this was not just an accident. And as the investigation unfolds, it pulls them into a dangerous web of lies tied to something much bigger. I don't know if you follow the Jack Ryan series. I remember watching it on TV, the adaptation, and I really enjoyed it. And I feel like I could really get into these books. Next up, let's talk about some political thrillers. The first of which is The Last Mandarin by Louise Penny and Melissa Fung. This is coming out on May 12th. When a mysterious global attack is traced back to China, a mother and daughter with a complicated past are pulled into a high-stakes race to stop it. As they dig deeper, they realize something even more dangerous is behind it, and they're going to have to work together to survive. The Fourth Option by Jack Carr and MP Woodward is coming out on May 12th. This is about a former Navy SEAL on the brink of ending his life, and he gets pulled into a dangerous conspiracy after a friend's family asks him for help. As he digs in, he takes justice into his own hands and goes up against a system that is way more corrupt than he ever realized. All right, let's talk about mystery thrillers. First up is Liar's Creek by Matt Goldman, coming out May 5th. A man returns to his small hometown with his son and gets pulled into a search when his uncle suddenly disappears. As they dig into this town's secrets, they find out that something dangerous has been hiding there all along, and his family might be next. Next up, Ironwood, a Catalina novel by Michael Connolly, coming out May 19th. A detective on Catalina Island thinks he's far from the worst of crime until a drug deal goes wrong and violence hits this very quiet town. As he digs deeper, he uncovers a mystery that is way bigger than the island, and he has to risk everything to stop it. Let's talk about some suspense thrillers now. Let's keep you on the edge of your seat. First up is Absence by Andrew Dana Hudson, coming out on May 5th. This one sounds really cool. It's about a world where people are mysteriously disappearing, and two agents investigate a woman who claims she came back from the other side, from this like place where people were disappearing. As they dig into her story, they start to wonder if she is the answer that everyone has been waiting for, or if she is something much more dangerous. Next up, we have The Watch by Emily Smith, coming out May 5th. This is about a woman living in a very strict safe haven who starts questioning everything after her brother dies and strange memories start to resurface. As she digs into the truth, she realizes this place might be hiding something much darker than what is outside of its walls. I'm assuming the place she's referencing here is the safe haven. All right, let's talk about the psychological thrillers. Let's mess with your head. The first is The Cove by L.J. Ross, coming out May 5th. After surviving a serial killer, Final Girl, a woman tries to start over in a quiet coastal town, but things don't feel safe for very long. As strange signs start to pile up, she wonders, did I really escape, or is something worse happening to me? I guess we're gonna have to read to find out. Next up, we have Five by Alona Bannister. So this book is interesting because it breaks the fourth wall and asks you to judge. So the synopsis is like 5 people are waiting for a train, and you know that one of them is about to die in just 5 minutes. And as you learn about these people's stories, you can't help but decide who deserves to die and who doesn't. So this sounds different. It sounds really interesting. Next up, The Anniversary by Alex Finlay, coming out May 12th. Every May 1st, a killer returns, and 2 people whose lives were changed by one brutal night keep getting pulled back into it. As the years go on, the truth about what really happened starts to unravel, and the danger is far from over. I have not read this author, but this one sounds really interesting. I think I need to start. Next up, we have Views by Mark Uwe Kling, coming out May 19th. This one is about a teenage girl who goes missing after a horrifying video of her assault spreads online, and a detective who has a daughter of the same age takes the case very personally. As she digs deeper, nothing adds up, and it starts to feel like she's chasing something she can't quite see. Interesting, because the title is Views, which has to do with seeing. So, I don't know. The Memory Foundation is next. It's a book by Amanda West. It's coming out May 26th. This is where a struggling new mom investigates a secretive clinic that claims that it can cure memory loss and even let people relive their past. That sounds too good to be true. But as she digs deeper, it becomes clear something about the place is seriously off. Because of course it is. Anything that promises something like that is definitely off. Next up is Murder by the Book by J.L. Campbell. This is coming out May 26th. This one is about a famous author with a shady past who sees everything start to unravel when someone dies during a retreat with her inner circle. As secrets come out and tensions rise, someone is out for revenge, and she might not be able to control it this time. Next up is The Case Study by Nicole Lundergan. This is coming out May 26th. This is about a woman who becomes obsessed with her husband's infamous former patient and starts watching her old therapy sessions like a true crime show. That sounds interesting. But as the patient re-enters their lives, it's clear that this patient has her own agenda, and things are about to get very unsettling. like even more unsettling than watching old therapy sessions. Next up, let's talk about the domestic thrillers. First, we have Caller Unknown by Gillian McAllister, coming out May 5th, my current read. This one is about a mother who wakes up and finds her daughter missing. And she gets a call with a terrifying demand, but it's not for money. Now, to save her daughter, she is forced to do something unthinkable, and it pushes her to the edge of what she's willing to become. I can't wait to find out what that is. Next up is Mist and Malice by Rachel Housel Hall, coming out May 19th. This author was at the LA Times Festival of Books on a day that I wasn't there, I'm pretty sure, but I saw pictures of her and now I'm interested in her books. This one is about a private investigator who gets pulled into a case when a terrified teenager shows up at her door with a disturbing story. As this investigator digs into this, she uncovers a dangerous conspiracy in her own town, and she realizes that no one can be trusted. This one has a cool title, The One Day You Were My Husband by Rosie Walsh, coming out May 19th. This is about a woman whose husband is kidnapped on their wedding night and disappears until she discovers years later that he has been alive all along. A plot twist. As she digs into what really happened, she realizes that the truth might change everything she thought she knew. Yes, absolutely. Next up is The Divorce by Frida McFadden, coming out May 26th. I feel like I thought this book was already out because so many people have been talking about it. A woman's perfect life falls apart when her husband leaves her for someone younger, but she's not ready to let it go. As she becomes obsessed with his new girlfriend, things take a dark turn and she realizes that she might be in danger. All right, final category, legal thrillers. I have just one for you, and this one I'm really excited to read because I've heard another booktuber talk about it and she highly recommends it. It is Dissection of a Murder by Jo Murray, coming out May 5th. This one is about a rookie lawyer who gets thrown into a high-profile murder case defending a client who won't talk while going up against her own husband in court. Now, as secrets from her past resurface, she realizes that she is not just fighting to win the case, but to protect herself. I will be most likely reading this book next month. All right, let's talk about some thriller events happening in May, and there are a lot. The biggest thriller event is happening from May 5th to May 9th, and that is Thriller Fest. It sounds like something I should definitely be at, but it's all the way in New York City. This is the premier conference for thriller enthusiasts. Trust me, I have been researching it. It's an annual conference of the International Thriller Writers, and this organization was created in 2005 by several best-selling authors in order to bring thousands of writers and readers, publishers and editors and agents together to promote and support thriller authors everywhere. This Thriller Fest has 7 main components. They have a masterclass, a craft fest, Connect Fest, a Query Fest, Pitch Fest. It's like a thriller author's dream, basically. And there's a ton of authors that you know that are going to be there, including Harlan Coben, Lisa Scottolini, Carter Wilson, Rachel Housel Hall, James Patterson, Jennifer Hillier. The list just goes on and on. But here's the thing, if you can't afford to go, they are selling the audio recordings of this conference for like pretty affordable prices. I am definitely going to look into that because there's no way I'm going to be able to get to New York by May 5th and stay there for 4 days. So I'm definitely going to look at the audio recordings because it all sounds like really good stuff. So if you are in Maryland, the Gaithersburg's Book Festival is happening on May 16th. And some thriller and horror authors going to be there, like Alex Finlay, Alma Katsu, Jennifer Vanderkloot, who is basically everywhere these days, Christina Henry, and Nick Petrie, and also Karen Wynn. And like I said, that's happening on May 16th in Gaithersburg, Maryland. I hope I'm saying that right. Probably not. All right, let's talk about some author events. Joshua Moling and Carter Wilson are going to be live at Tattered Cover Aspen Grove in Littleton, Colorado on May 26th. I have all the information for all these events in the description box below, so don't forget to check that out if you want more specific details. Also, Alex Finlay is touring this month in May. He's the author of The Anniversary, and he is going to be in Virginia, Nebraska, Pennsylvania, and more. Also, Sarah Gailey, who is the author of multiple novels, but more recently, Make Me Better. She's going to be in California, Utah, and Iowa this month. Also, a couple other different places, so make sure to check the description box for details if she's going to be in your town. Sally Hepworth is also touring. She is the author of Mad Mabel. She's going to be in Princeton, New Jersey on May 2nd. Now, if you want to keep track of all these events, like I said, don't forget to subscribe to my Bookish newsletter because I'm going to be sending you these events as they happen every single week. CJ Dodson, the author of These Familiar Walls, is going to be at a Barnes & Noble in Victor, New York this month. And Rhea Frey, who is the author of Dear Mother, I think that book just came out. She's going to be at the Foxtail Bookshop in Woodstock, Georgia on May 6th. Tiffany Crum, the author of This Story Might Save Your Life, I've heard that book is so good. She's going to be at the Booked Author Series in Providence, Rhode Island on May 19th. Jennifer Vanderkloot, who is everywhere, I'm telling you, she is the author of The Better Mother. She's going to be at the Viridian Bookshop in Willoughby, Ohio on May 23rd. I also have some UK events for you guys today. I don't always get a chance to do a lot of research for events that are like outside of the US, but today I do. So Jo Callahan, who is the author of Body of Lies, she's going to be at Waterstones Harborne in Birmingham on May 21st, if you want to see her. Also, T.M. Logan is going to be at the Deepings Literary Festival in West Deeping, Lincolnshire on May 2nd. I really hope I get that location right, so make sure to check the link for details. Emily Barr, who is also another thriller author, she wrote Lies We Told this summer. She's going to be at Waterstones Truro on May 21st. Also, John Mars, this is again still keeping with the UK events, he's going to be at the Althorpe Literary Festival in the UK on May 8th through 10th, but he is going to be there on May 9th, so if you go on that day. All right, we're back to the US events. Dane Barr, who is the author of The Dead Ringer, he's on tour this month in Colorado and Wisconsin and Washington, it looks like. Also, Mark Cameron, who is the author of Deadline, is touring this month in Arizona. If you loved Tradwife, the author, Saratoga Schaefer, is going to be in New York and Texas this month. Ilona Bannister, who is the author of Five, the book we just recently mentioned, she's going to be in Arizona and New York this month. And Charlie Donnelly, who always goes everywhere but California, is going to be in Wisconsin and Illinois this month. All right, let's talk about thrillers that are becoming movies or series. I have two for you in the month of May. The first is probably not categorized as a thriller, but it is a scary one, and it is called The Lord of the Flies by William Golding. This is a series adaptation that is coming to Netflix on May 4th. It's going to be a limited series. I believe it already released in the UK, but that book was savage, and I really, really can't wait to see the series. I thought a series already existed about that somewhere, or a movie, but I've never seen it, so I really want to see this one. Also, we have The Devil in Silver by Victor Laval. It's a literary thriller that's coming to AMC Plus and Shudder on May 6th. It's about a man who is wrongfully committed to a psychiatric hospital where he must face human cruelty and a supernatural entity. And finally, let's talk about all the scary movies coming out in May. Oh my gosh, they look so good. The first one is Hokum, coming out May 1st. This one is with Adam Scott, so if he's doing anything creepy, I have to see it, ever since Severance. This one is going to be a supernatural horror thriller, and it's about a misanthropic author who travels to a remote, folklore-rich Irish hotel to scatter his parents' ashes. And while he's there, he becomes entangled in the mystery of a missing staff member and a menacing witch reputed to haunt the hotel. I don't know. I gotta see it. Next up, we have Deep Water, and this one is coming out May 1st as well. This one is a shark thriller. I love shark thrillers. It's about a group of international passengers en route from Los Angeles to Shanghai who are forced to make an emergency landing in shark-infested waters. And now they all have to work together to overcome the frenzy of sharks that are drawn to the wreckage. On May 15th, Obsession is coming out. I definitely have to see this. And this one is a dark indie horror film about Bear, who is played by Michael Johnston. He's a shy music store employee who uses a supernatural one wish willow to make his crush and childhood friend Nikki fall for him. Well, this wish creates a nightmare scenario, transforming his obsession into a deadly, disturbing tale of lost autonomy. I've seen this trailer multiple times, and each time I just think I really need to see that movie. It makes me want to see it more each time I see the trailer. On May 22nd, we have a movie coming out called Corporate Retreat. This is another indie horror film revolving around a corporate setting. So corporate executives are on a team building retreat and they face a deadly struggle when their leader turns violently against them. On May 22nd, the movie Passenger is coming out. And this one is about people who are like on a van life adventure, a couple, and they witness an accident that leaves the driver dead. And soon after, they're being pursued by a demonic stalker who is impossible to outrun and follows them wherever they go. On May 29th, we have Backrooms, based on the viral internet creepypasta, which brings liminal space horror to theaters. Now, I have been hearing about this for some time, but I'm not altogether clear on what it is. So let me give you a quick background on this Backrooms movie. Basically, the concept first emerged on 4chan like a long time ago. The original photo was taken during the renovation of a Hobbytown store in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. It was posted on a blog in 2003. Then in 2011, the image was posted to 4chan. And basically people thought it was very unsettling. And then people started like writing about it, and it just became this very like scary story really that was just built upon by lots of different people. So now they've turned it into a movie. And basically this movie follows a therapist who, after her patient vanishes into a mysterious alternate dimension, which is like this endless yellow walled liminal office space. So this therapist ventures into this dangerous realm, and basically it's basically an adaptation of what was online. And I'm really curious to see how it plays out. A friend of mine has been telling me about it for a long time, and the trailer looks very scary, and I can't wait to watch that one. And that's it. Those are all the books and movies and events that I could find that are happening in the thriller and horror genre in May of 2026. I hope you jotted down some that you liked and ones that you're looking forward to. But if not, don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter. I'm going to be sending it to you this Tuesday in the description box below. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. Don't forget to tell me what you're reading, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.